I've said this before, music, it hits you different sometimes. And it's not like the sound in your ears necessarily, but like something that cracks your chest open and pulls you back into time. 5 days ago, a new Glorious Sons track dropped. And the second I heard it, I wasn't just listening, I was transported right back to 2018, back to a time when I was exhausted, going through the motions, half asleep in life, and right back to a friend I considered more than a friend, a brother. He was the one that first introduced me to this band out of Kingston. Back when they were just breaking on the scene, basically. We shared those songs, those nights, those moments, like they were stitched into our DNA. Hearing this new one, it landed like a punch, and it circled me right back to him. The first words in the song said something like, "I can't believe you ever liked the old me." And man, that's exactly how it felt in those years. I wasn't proud of who I was. I was burnout, chain smoking, drinking, filling time with nothing that necessarily mattered. Yet somehow he stood by me. He laughed with me. He rode shotgun in the chaos without judgment. It's a strange kind of grace when someone sees you at your lowest and still calls you a brother. That first line of the song hit me because it was almost like hearing my own voice back then. Me wondering why anyone would even stick around. But he did. And that's a rare kind of loyalty. The next part of the song is about being sick of trying, walking around dead tired, like you've been burned alive from the inside. And I guess that was me. And it was him too. We were carrying these things from our childhoods that never got spoken out loud. Wounds that never really healed. So we buried them. We buried them under beer, under smoke, under nights in the woods, nights in the kitchen, wherever it may be. We cranked the music until the speakers rattled. And in the most moments, sometimes we talked. Not about everything, not about the deep cuts, but enough. Enough to feel like somebody else knew what it was to carry a weight too heavy for a kid. That's why hearing those lines now broke something open in me. Because it wasn't just describing me, it was describing us. That bone deep exhaustion, that numbness we thought was, I guess, normal. Then the song takes this turn. It's about dreaming of living and leaving at the same time, about making new plans, about imagining another life. And that's exactly where my memory goes. To the last real conversation that we had, we were talking about getting back ice fishing to the good old days. On the surface, just a normal plan like always, but underneath, it was something else. At least for me. It was a way of saying, I still want to be connected, but I'm changing. I can't keep living this old way. And I think in his own way, he was listening. Maybe not ready to take the leap, but maybe not fully awake to the shift. But there was something in him that wanted to come along. It felt like a door was cracking open. Like we could carry the brotherhood forward in a new way. But life doesn't always give you the timing you'd hope for. For us, it collapsed. And sometimes I still wonder if he felt that too. That we were right at the edge of a different kind of bond. But the ground gave way beneath us before we could take that step. Later in that track, there's this honesty about being impaired. About pretending to care when you didn't. And then suddenly realizing you do care again. That's me to the bone. For so many years, I numbed out. I didn't let myself care. I didn't feel that the world would understand. A lot of the circle I ran with just took the edge off. So caring meant pain, disappointment, vulnerability. So I kept the mask on. But underneath, I was suffocating. And then slowly, something shifted. I started waking up. I started realizing that maybe I'd been asleep for most of my life. And with that came two truths: the gift of finally seeing, and the heartbreak of knowing some people couldn't walk the same road with me. That's the hardest part about change. It cost you. It cost him. And in that section of that song, it was like a band hoping for the same. This is what it feels like to wake up, but too late to know that everybody can come with you. And then the line that cut the deepest, about feeling like you've known someone in the past life, like you've been part, like it's been part of you forever. That's what he was to me. Not just a buddy, not just someone to drink with, a brother, my chosen brother. He once told me I felt like more like family to him than his actual brother. And that stays with me because it was true. We carried stories from our childhoods that were too heavy, too dark, too confusing. Things kids should never have to see to survive. And while we didn't unpack all of it, we didn't need to. We understood each other in ways no one else could. That's why losing that bond hurt so much. Because it wasn't just a friendship. It was blood loyalty. And it can't just disappear into your life without some sort of collapse. So listening to that song 5 days ago, I couldn't shake the emotions it stirred. It reminded me that once I was half dead. Scary thought, and going through the emotions. I had a brother beside me in the fire. I don't know if we'll ever share another ice hut adventure or sit across the table or in the same kitchen and really talk through what we buried. It may never be the same, but what I do know is this: that bond mattered. That friendship mattered. And sometimes music has this strange way of reaching through the wreckage of time and saying the words we could never say. That's what this song did for me. And that's why I couldn't ignore it. That's why I'm sitting here and talking about it today. Because in those moments, it's given me the courage to just speak things aloud. And may the chips land where they may. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. And hopefully you have a similar story. Maybe not, but hopefully this one resonates somewhere within your being. All right, till the next one, thanks again.